It's Wednesday morning in the fabulous Florida Keys. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty. Please excuse my bright red eye this morning. I had a fight with my contact lenses when I was putting them in, and as you can see clearly, they won. I've only had them for about a week and a half now, so I'm still getting used to putting something on my finger and then sticking my finger in my eye, and today wasn't as good of a morning as most mornings are. Speaking of good mornings, though, we're having a beautiful morning here. I just got in from my walk along the beach. At 6 a.m., it was already 80 degrees outside. We're going to have another cloudy day all day long, but that's normal. That's aftermath from Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene. Anytime I've experienced a hurricane, and I've experienced a lot of them in my 33 years living in the Keys, for about a week or so after, we always have cloudy weather with a little bit of rain or just that dewy feeling like it's going to rain. I'll take the cloudy weather and 80-degree temperatures every time. I did a quick check-in. It's 41 degrees in Detroit right now, plus they have to live in Detroit. A cloudy day in Key West certainly beats a sunny day in Detroit, and then add in that 41-degree temperature, and that's just uncivilized. This is my morning market MLS update video I do every day right about this same time. I report all the new listings in Key West and the lower Keys that have come on the market in the last 24 hours. If you watch this video every day, you'll be ahead of most buyers. You'll know about all the new listings from Big Pine Key down to Key West the same day the realtors find out about them. I find most buyers wait for a home to come on to Trulia or Realtor.com or Zillow or one of those websites before they inquire about it. And the problem they face there is by the time a lot of those sites put a property live online, it's already been in the multiple listing service a couple days and all the good deals are already under contract. If you watch this video every day and see something you like, call me immediately. I'll make an appointment for us to go see the home, or if you're not here locally in the Keys, I'll go look at it on your behalf, or we can do a walkthrough video or a FaceTime video call, and I'll show you the property virtually. If you like what you see, we can write up an offer and have you under contract on the home before most buyers ever even knew it was available for sale. You can also get a much more detailed description of these listings, including photographs, if you follow my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'll put that web address in the description down below. There's a lot more information on the blog, a lot more details about the homes, any unique features the home might have. It'll have things like projected room uses, room dimensions, photos of the inside of the home, photos of the outside of the home. If the home happens to have a pool, it happens to be waterfront, it'll have photos of the pool, photos of the water view, photos of the boat dockage. It's just a lot more information than I can cram into a couple-minute quick YouTube video. Again, that web address is keywestinvesting.com, and it's updated every day from the Florida Keys multiple listing service, including photos. If you like this video and you want to see more so you can stay current with what's being listed in the Florida Keys at what price every morning, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a video just like this every day. Also, please click that thumbs up like symbol down below. It makes me feel good to know people are watching my videos and actually like them. We have 5 new homes on the market to talk about today. Before I tell you about the homes, unfortunately, the state of Florida has to butt in. They make me cover the legal boring stuff. The information I'm about to give you comes directly from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. I'm not accepting any responsibility for any of these listings. I'm not claiming any of these listings to be my own listings, and I'm not accepting any responsibility if there's any inaccuracies in the information I give you. I'm simply reading it to you right from the Florida Keys multiple listing service. The first property we have is a small condo in Key West's Old Town neighborhood on Margaret Street. It's only about a 3-block walk to Duval Street. It's right about center of Margaret Street, which would put it right about the center of Duval Street. So it's a convenient walk if you want to go to the upper end of Duval where the nicer restaurants are, the art galleries, the boutiques and shops. And it's also very convenient and close if you want to get on to the nightlife and Party Central on the lower end of Duval Street. This one is a studio condo. It's relatively small. It's 370 square feet. But it's also priced at $499,000. Anything under $500,000, it's 3 blocks from Duval Street, is still a very low price. One concern that I have with this property is it's a situation where back in the day when the families used to have 8, 9, 10 kids and they had these huge houses, the developers have come along and bought up a lot of these bigger houses and condoed them out into smaller units. This particular condo association only has 4 units. You definitely want to take a look at the financials when you're in your due diligence period, particularly take a look at the reserves. Make sure they have enough money in reserves for any possible upcoming repairs in case the building needs a new roof. The building needs to be re-sided. It needs to be tented for termites. If they have that money in reserves, they go ahead and do it. If they don't have that money in the reserves, each individual owner gets an assessment to split the cost of the bill. And if you have a big condo complex with a couple hundred units in it, putting a new roof on shared by everybody is not that big of a deal. But when there's only 4 units and you got to pitch in 25% for a new roof, a new siding on the building, or any major maintenance, it could be a pretty hefty bill. So you definitely want to check out their reserves while you're still in your due diligence period and able to back out. Their HOA fees are relatively low. They're only $600 a month, which is very cheap for Key West, but low HOA fees and 4 units in the entire condo complex makes me want to think about the reserves for sure. Other than that, $499,000 for any property this close to Duval Street is a great price. Then we go to White Street in Key West's Old Town neighborhood. This is a fairly unique property. It's 2 properties on one. The main home is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and then they have a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom guest cottage. The total square footage between the 2 of them is 1,171 square feet. The best feature this property has is they have what's called the transient license, so you can rent this property one night at a time, where most of Key West that does not, I should say all of Key West that does not have a transient license, is a 30-day minimum rental period by law. Then there's different types of transient licenses. Some of them, like this one, are the absolute best. It allows you to rent one night at a time, just like a hotel. Some of them allow for 3-night minimum rentals, and others allow for 7-night minimum rentals, which both of those are pretty good. Most people that vacation in Key West stay at least 3 or 4 days or a week, but the 1-night license is an added luxury you have. All that being said, it's being offered at $3,799,000, which personally I think is just very, very overpriced. It's on an extremely busy section of Whitehead Street. It's a half a block from City Hall, which will bring a lot of traffic in. And in the listing, it says that there is no off-street parking. It doesn't say there's no off-street parking, but it does not mention off-street parking. And almost any time there is off-street parking offered in a house in Old Town, that's featured because it's a pretty important feature to have. Parking on the street, especially on White Street, right up the street from City Hall, can be really difficult. It's a great rental property. It'd be a great corporate retreat, but $3,799,000 is just way too much money for this property, in my opinion. Then we go to Stock Island on College Road. It's the Sunset Marina. Sunset Marina Condos. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,171 square foot condo overlooking the Sunset Marina. You're watching the boats come in and out. They've got some pretty large yachts in there. They have everything from 20-foot John boats to 70-plus foot yachts and sailboats you see going in and out. People tend to either really like or really dislike the Sunset Marina. They really like it because you have a great marina view. It's very quiet. It's very private. Or they really dislike it because depending on what side you're on, one side you're overlooking the landfill, the other side you share a driveway with the jail. Some people look at that as a bad thing. Personally, I look at sharing a driveway with the jail as a good thing. That's also where the main sheriff's headquarters is. At any given time, there's at least 25 and usually closer to 50 cars in front with blue lights on the top that say sheriff. You can't get a better security system than that. And the units have excellent marina views. A boat slip does not come with the condos. A lot of people see Sunset Marina condos and just assume you get a boat slip. The boat slips are available for purchase or available for rent, but they are not included in the condo. This one's being offered at $1,295,000, which is actually a very good price for Sunset Marina. Then we go to Stock Island. We have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 840 square foot mobile home on 5th Street. This one's kind of a cool looking little mobile home, even though it is a mobile home. If you look at the pictures in the blog, keywestinvesting.com, you'll see it has wood siding on it, and it almost looks kind of like a log cabin. It's just a neat looking property. It's a good opportunity to get into something, and Stock Island is very popular with the Key West workforce and the locals because it's a little more affordable than living in Key West itself. This one's being offered at only $495,000. It's less than a 5-minute drive to Key West. Also, a thing a lot of people are doing with the mobile homes in Stock Island is they're coming in, buying out the older mobile homes and removing it and putting up a house. If there was a mobile home in place, the property comes with what they call a ROGO exemption. The building permits in Monroe County are given out on the ROGO system. ROGO is Rate of Growth Ordinance. Ordinarily, it would take anywhere from 2 to 3 years to get a building permit if you just bought a piece of land and applied for it, unless you wanted to dump hundreds of thousands of dollars into it buying the building permit. If you buy a property with a trailer or an older home or any home on it at all, as long as you can prove that at one point in time there was a residential dwelling on the property. It doesn't even have to be there now. It can be removed. You just have to prove that at one point in time there was a residential dwelling. You get what they call a ROGO exempt letter. You still have to get the building permit, but it just takes a couple of months rather than a couple of years, and they're pretty easy to get if you can verify there was a residential dwelling on there. So this is a good opportunity to just get a low-cost house very close to Key West, or a nice rental income property very close to Key West at a low price. Or if you wanted to buy it now and just make it a weekend crash pad, then down the line, if you're ready to move to the Keys permanently, you can remove the mobile home and put up a house. There's just so many options on this property being priced at only $495,000. Then we go up to Sugarloaf Key in the Sugarloaf Beach Estates. This is another very unique property. It's an estate-style home. It's on a little over a half acre of land, which may not sound like a lot of land to those of you up north, but half acre of land, especially a half acre of land on the ocean in the Keys, is a huge parcel of land. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 4,509 square foot house. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. My voice is getting raspy. As I was saying, this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 4,509 square foot house, which is also a very big house for the Florida Keys. It's very rare you'll see a house this big. It has its own private beach. It's on a very hidden, very secluded road way down. You go all the way to the end of Sugarloaf Boulevard, and then you turn onto State Road 4A at the very end. If any of you remember the movie True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the house that is Arnold's house is right out on this street, just a couple doors up from this particular house. All of the houses have great privacy. They're all on larger lots. There's large barrier of trees on the road. Most of them, you can't even see the house from the street at all. And if you're in your yard, you can't even see your neighbor's yard. This particular house has its own private beach. This house also comes with that same transient license that you can rent out one day at a time, which is also another good feature. These properties are very unique. They come up for sale every once in a while. When they are on the market, they usually sit on the market a while, and then when someone comes along that wants to buy it, they usually pay full price or very close. It's one of those properties you either absolutely love or you absolutely dislike. If you want privacy and you want the old-fashioned Florida Keys the way it was back in the 50s and the 60s, you want to be away from everybody. If you want a lot of land, and if you want your own private beach right in your backyard, this is a great house. Although it is right on the open Atlantic, there is no dockage, and the boating back there is very difficult, very, very shallow boating if you were able to get a dock permit. You probably could get a dock permit. It would be tedious. It would take a lot of work. You'd have to go through the Army Corps of Engineers, the EPA, and the DEP. It's not impossible, but it's tedious. This one's being offered at $6,900,000, which is a pretty fair price for a house this size and this location with all these features. And that's all we have for today. If you want to take a look at any of these homes or any home anywhere in the Florida Keys, give me a call at 305-731-0501. And don't forget to check out my blog, keywestinvesting.com. I'm Gary McAdams with eXp Realty.